Hello, this is Alex at IES, and in this video, I'm going to be going over editing your classroom homepage. And so the first thing I want to do is show you how to actually access your classroom. So, if you're watching this video, you probably already have a classroom, assuming your admin did everything correctly. And so, if they have, you should be seeing either your admin has added a class list that just has your classroom available right there. You can also go to district/classes and view your classroom there. However, if you don't want to do that, it should actually be available to you by clicking this My Classes down here and accessing My Class right there. Now, it only says My Class because that's the name of this particular classroom that I've created. And so this is generally what your classroom looks like. Um, it looks a lot like the homepage just did because I'm an admin of the entire site. So, you have your standard, edit layout, add widget help, and then this config members and menus as well. So the first thing I want to show you is editing your homepage text area. And the text area is the space between my class right here and these three buttons down here. So the way to do that is click config on the side. And we're going to start adding content to this little panel here. Now you can look at all the different settings we have here. The title, if you want to change the title to say like Alex's class or, just math class or something, that's completely up to you. But in this editor here, this accepts stuff like links, images, tables, iframes, um, you know, changing around the formatting, the colors of the text, bold, italics, underline. I have a whole video going over this text editor, so if you want to get more familiar with it or what you can do with it, go ahead and watch that video. But I'm gonna show blocks and center this, and I'm just gonna type in welcome to my classroom. And I'm going to make this a heading, and I'm going to click Publish Now. And I'll be going over what we can do with that config a little bit later, but look, now we see this Welcome to my classroom here. So this entire space right here is your text area. Basically, anything you can add or anything you can do with that editor, you can place into this little text area. So before we actually get into the config, or you know what, it's actually a good time to go into that before I talk about widgets. So naturally we have the text area and we have the title, but we also have viewing privileges. So with this viewing privileges, it's essentially who can view the content of your classroom. So let me change this to password, and I'll change this to ASDF123 and say publish now. Now I'm seeing this correctly because I'm currently logged in and I'm an admin. I created the page and created the password. Let me go ahead and log out though. Okay, and you'll see to view this page, please enter your password below. So I can't actually view that content until I enter in the password. Okay, we can also do things like, select a theme. So naturally we're seeing the Cyberschool 2.0, the little slogan here, the top navigation, as well as this side navigation right here. So we can actually add a theme to this just by selecting from this drop down. That's select a theme, and we actually choose a theme. And we have a lot of different themes to choose from. Some like holiday, time of the year, geographical, subject-based, extracurricular, or just standard colors like dark red, dark blue. Let's actually add the dark green one, and it gives you a little preview of what it looks like. Click Save and Publish Now, and see the entire theme of the classroom changes. And I go ahead and head back to district, and it changes back. Okay, so another thing we can do with the config, let's not worry about this periods, or, that's actually just about it. So let me go ahead and change the theme back. I just want to show you themes. Okay, so now we can talk about these widgets here. This whole turquoise area, you saw me log out and you didn't see that turquoise area there because this is essentially the section that we have to work with in terms of adding in content to this home page here. And the way we add in content is we choose this Add Widget button. And all of these items in this list here, or this little table, are called widgets. The most standard one is text box, which is just you'll get an editor just like with the config. And anything you can add in this editor, you can add into a text box as well. Okay, we also have things like accomplishments or countdown. And let me just start adding these and I'll show you what we can do with them. So this is a text box, and every widget you see will have these three buttons here, or just about every widget with some exceptions, but these three buttons will actually configure how this widget is actually going to be displaying and what's actually going to be displayed inside this widget. So this gear symbol called Widget Settings will actually open up the editor so I can start adding in new stuff to this text box, give it a title, add some SEO tools or search engine optimization, choose or upload some resource files, which are just files attached to this text box. Things like files that you upload pretty constantly, like lesson plans or weekly bulletins. We also have revisions to go back on some changes that we made to the text box, and privacy for this as well if you want to password protect the content of this. Let me actually exit out. Okay, this second one here, little pencil, will configure how the widget actually looks. So it's custom panel right now, but custom to panel will actually change to just a black one. Black header there. Oops, let's hit the pencil. We also have box list to remove the entire box there and just show the title. Title list to remove the title completely. And then basic panel is just like a gray panel there. Okay, and this last option, delete widget, will actually remove the widget altogether. So if I click that, you just get an are you sure message, yes or no. Okay, we also have accomplishments. Let me go ahead and add this one here. And this accomplishments widget, essentially, it's like bragging about your classroom. So I'll go ahead and configure this. And you can give this a title and choose the show title option. You can give this a description and then show the description as well. Let me actually show that so we can see that our accomplishments there. And then list, this is actually where we change up, what's actually showing in the accomplishments widget. Let's just say like 37 students. And you can also change up the type of information this is, if this is a number, if it's currency, like a dollar sign or a money value, or if it's a percentage as well. And then this little gear symbol here will allow you to change the icon that goes with this. So let's see if we can find one that displays students better, like this little child one here. And we can use these arrows to move them up and down. And then for this one, let's say like courses, and this is like 3. So if I am teaching 3 courses as a number, let's find an icon that goes well with courses. I don't know. Uh, it doesn't matter. Let's just choose that one there. Mm, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so the accomplishments widget. Okay, we also have Amber Alert if that's something you want to display on your classroom. And assignments. I'll add an assignments one, but I'm going to talk about uh, these specific modularized widgets in the next video. These modularized widgets, you'll see, I can't click into this and start populating this it's actually going to be populated on the actual module, which just means that these modularized widgets actually pull from a singular source, and we have to actually edit the source to actually populate this widget. So I'll be showing that in the next video. The same is true for blog, so let me go ahead and add the blog one, and calendar. So again, we have to actually visit the blog module and the calendar module to actually populate these widgets here. Countdown is not a modularized widget, so let me go ahead and add the countdown one. And the countdown is just a timer. You can go ahead and configure this and say last day of school, or we can say, like finals, or midterms, SATs. You just have to specify the date that this is ending and the time this is ending as well. So that's the countdown widget. Okay, we also have homework and projects is another modularized widget. And what else do we have? iframe is not in a modularized widget. iframe is actually used to embed third-party sources, not necessarily like YouTube videos, but if you have some third-party source that you want to embed, if you have some like educational site that you visit often and you kind of just want to show some content from that, you can embed that content, or if the owner of the site allows you to embed. We also have links, which is not a modularized widget, so I can show you links. So with links, we have these buttons here, and we can add more to these. Let me go ahead and show you the widget settings. We could change the title of this, which is the title of the widget. The layout style, if this is default, these squares or circular. Don't worry about the no margin there. Number of links displayed at once is just how many are actually placed into this little widget here. So it's set to 4, so each of these squares are about 24 or 25% of the actual widget. But we can increase or decrease that. We also have number of links to move on slide, which is once you start actually filling this up with more and more links, you'll see it to actually start to slide to the next links available. We also have text size, which goes with the size of the label that goes with it. I'll be showing you what I mean in just a moment, as well as scroll automatically if you'd like this to scroll by itself or just leave it up to the user to scroll through the links. Now in list, this is actually where we configure what's placed into here. So let me go ahead and I'll just say Google, for example, https google.com, and for the image alt text, I'll just choose Google logo because I'm going to place a Google logo in here. Let's go ahead and choose that. Where did it go? Right there. And then for this one, let's just say YouTube, and then https youtube.com. Let's say YouTube logo. Let's go ahead and find the YouTube logo. Okay, and then we'll hit save. Okay, so there's that Google one. It takes me to Google, and the YouTube one takes me to YouTube. So rather than putting the YouTube text on there, let's actually remove that because the logo already says YouTube on it. Okay, and it still works all the same. Okay, but other stuff that we can do with this is let's reduce the number of links displayed at once to just 1. So that's just showing 1, and we can see the slide. Scroll automatically. Okay, so it could take a while. I believe it's like 5 seconds, or okay, immediately then. So we see it actually sliding by itself, and it should go back to Google. There we go. Okay, so that's the links widget. Okay, we also have mission, which is not a modularized widget either, so we can go ahead and explore what we can do with that. So this is the mission widget, which is essentially the mission or vision statement of your classroom, or you can have your goals for the class here as well. It's really just used for relaying a message. However, we can also change this to MOTD, which is message of the day. And when I do that, let me go ahead and save. You see we get a little circle here and all the same information. But what we can do is we can take an image, let's say this image here, and we can place it into that circle. So there's that image there. So this is useful for like message from the teacher or a message from our principal, or our inspirational quotes if you like to place a quote by Albert Einstein or Gandhi here. Um, Again, that's done with this image portion, and it has to be on MOTD for you to have the image there. If I change this back to default, the image will go away. Okay, you want to give that an alternative text for ADA compliance. And we also have a button here if you'd like to link or have this button go someplace. You can just put a dead link there so that it doesn't go anywhere. Um, but essentially, if you'd like to have a link placed onto this mission, you can absolutely have that there or just remove that. And then the remaining settings are things like for the button, where it's going, the colors associated with the button, and that's about everything with mission. Let's go ahead back into add widget. News is a modularized widget, so we'll have to visit the news module. The same is true for podcasts. Now RSS is actually if you have some like third-party news article or news feed you want to display, you'll have to actually take the RSS URL of that and place it into this RSS widget. If you don't quite know what I'm referring to, it's perfectly fine. It's not a popular widget that's widely used, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, scope and sequence is a modularized widget, so we'll be going over that next video. And slideshow, I have another video on slideshows. I would recommend you watch that if you'd like to have slideshows for your classroom. Social networks is not a modularized widget. Let me go ahead and add that. And then down at the bottom, you have social networks. And if your classroom has a Facebook page or a Twitter page or an Instagram feed that you'd like to display, you can go ahead and include those URLs here, and it'll actually display the feed into this widget. Okay, last one is video widget. If you have some video you'd like to display, again, not a modularized widget, so I'll just show you how that's done. You just click the little configuration for this, and just copy and paste the YouTube URL into here, or Vimeo or Dailymotion, anything like that. Okay, so you might be thinking this whole turquoise area is it's pretty lengthy just to go up and down or scrolling up and down this window here. We can actually change the layout of this using this edit layout here. Let's say 2 columns or 3 columns. I'm going to split this up into 2 columns. We have a lot more selection to choose from, but I'm going to split this up between modularized and not modularized. So for the modularized, I'll put into this right-hand side here. Not the links, homework and projects. Upcoming events is your calendar one. Blog is your blog module. Class assignments is the class module. Okay, and that's about all of them there. Okay, so next video I'll be going over actually accessing these modules so that you can start populating these widgets here. But you'll see, some of these actually scale pretty nicely according to the section that they're encapsulated in. Okay, so that is just about everything I want to go over in this video. Again, next video I'll talk about actually accessing your modules so you can start populating this with news articles, podcasts, homework assignments, or even calendar events. So I'll see you in the next video.